My ex-husband got emergency custody of our 8-year-old daughter after she came home from school crying and showed her teacher what looked like cigarette burns on her arms. The teacher called CPS immediately. My daughter Lily told them I did it because she didn't want to eat her vegetables the night before. I had just picked her up from his house that Sunday. I hadn't seen her for 72 hours. The caseworker showed up at my door Monday morning with 2 police officers. They searched my apartment, looked in every drawer, checked the ashtrays even though I don't smoke and never have. Lily was already with her dad. The caseworker said, "We're placing her with her father pending investigation. You are not to contact her until further notice." I tried to explain that Lily had been fine when I dropped her off Friday. No marks, no tears, happy about the new Barbie I'd bought her. But they just handed me papers and left. My phone blew up that afternoon. My mom calling, sobbing, asking how I could do something like that to my own baby. My sister texting that she couldn't believe it, but the photos the school sent looked bad. My best friend since childhood left a voicemail saying she needed space. Even my boss pulled me into his office and said maybe I should take some time off until this gets sorted. Everyone believed an 8-year-old over me without question. I wasn't allowed supervised visits. I wasn't allowed phone calls. I sat in my apartment staring at Lily's empty bed and the half-colored drawing on her desk, wondering how my little girl, who still crawled into my lap for stories, could say something so horrible about me. The investigation dragged on for 3 weeks. I met with detectives, gave DNA samples, let them photograph my hands for burn patterns that didn't exist. They interviewed neighbors, my coworkers, even my ex-coworkers from 5 years ago. Every day I waited for someone to realize this didn't make sense. I don't smoke. I never have. There were no cigarettes in my house. But Lily stuck to her story. Mommy got mad and burned me when I wouldn't eat broccoli. Then they scheduled the child interview with a forensic psychologist. I wasn't allowed to be there. I sat in the waiting room for 4 hours while they talked to her alone. I kept thinking about how scared she must be, how much she probably missed me, how I just wanted to hug her and tell her it was okay to tell the truth. The psychologist came out first. Her face was pale. She walked straight to the detective and said quietly, "We need to get units to the father's residence right now. The child is in immediate danger." My heart stopped. I thought something had happened to Lily while I was sitting there. But then the psychologist turned to the caseworker and said, "Pull up the father's household records. There's a live-in girlfriend with priors we're going to need to question." They brought Lily out a minute later. She looked so small walking between 2 officers. When she saw me, she ran straight into my arms and buried her face in my shoulder, sobbing harder than I'd ever heard her cry. "I'm sorry, Mommy. I'm so sorry. Please don't be mad." It turned out my ex's new girlfriend had been burning Lily with cigarettes for months whenever she misbehaved. Small ones at first, then worse. She told Lily nobody would believe her because she was just a kid, and if she ever told anyone the truth, she'd make sure Lily never saw me again. When the marks got too obvious to hide, the girlfriend coached Lily to blame me because your mom doesn't have a good lawyer like we do, and you'll get to stay with Daddy full time. Lily panicked at school when the teacher saw the fresh burns and blurted out what they told her to say. She thought if she stuck to the story, the girlfriend wouldn't hurt her worse. She was terrified of going back there. They arrested the girlfriend that night. My ex claimed he didn't know, but the messages on his phone showed he'd covered for her multiple times. He lost custody completely. The girlfriend is facing felony child abuse charges. Lily sleeps in my bed every night now. She still flinches sometimes when someone raises their voice. Therapy is slow, but last week she crawled into my lap with her favorite book and whispered, "You're the best, Mommy. I knew you'd save me." I held her tighter than ever and told her I never stopped fighting for her. Not for 1 second.